Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Lucid, and it's turn 19. We're hopping back into our game with Sceleria, the human-led undead nation. We have a message from Marignon saying, I saw that scout ping the throne. I tried to assassinate to take it. None of those commanders except the lore masters are even slightly dangerous. Of course, I failed my turn 2 expansion and had all my assassins get murdered by the same knight commander on turn 3, so I may not be the best advisor. Good luck. Looks easier than the size 6 fire elemental spewing wizards I've had to deal with anyway. And that's a good idea. I may try that. But I'm not sure I will. The problem is these guys, I think, were guarded. Like, I think they had people on guard commander. And I don't really have anything to give my assassins to make them terribly scary at the moment. Though I certainly might have those later. I'll have to think about it. Yeah, I can think of some things that would be pretty damn good on them. But that will get into my late game play. One thing I'm definitely going to do, and I guess I might as well go ahead and talk about it now. I am going to make a blood play with this nation, and there's a few reasons. One is, in terms of the late game, having low magic diversity, it would be helpful to have something else to both increase magic diversity and then to have another gimmick. Because I'm not to the point where you see my undead power developing really. But that will be really big, but eventually you can kind of counter it with, and especially with my gem generator, you know, if you want to cast Earthquake every single battle, you can kill all my undead. But it's going to cost you a lot of gems, and eventually you're not going to want to do that. With the temporary gem generator, you can make items, which are going to give you basically enough temporary gems to cast Earthquake for free. And if you're doing that, yeah, it's going to basically mean my skeletons aren't worth much. Same thing for fire, like with Marignon, they can do basically the same thing, and then same thing with air. With Marignon, they would do Firestorm. With Yis, they can do Fog Warriors, which, I mean, I think their knights would kill an infinite amount of undead with mist form on them. So, anyway, I do want to make a blood play for two reasons. One, just to increase diversity and give me some better late game stuff. Second is, blood can enter into communions, and then that reinvigoration after I drop all my big battlefield stuff will really give my communions a big second win. And then the other major point is, since I'm relying on undead, if I get to blood 8, I'll be able to do Rush of Strength, which will affect all my skeletons and make them do a significantly larger amount of damage. So I do want to have this in my pocket. Blood Rain is not bad also, especially when you're playing undead. So yeah, basically I want to have this in my pocket for late game. And Sceleria is a very good nation to bootstrap into blood, and that's because we're going to be getting a lot of preachers. And preachers, they have very low upkeep. Like, normally, if you want to bootstrap into blood, you're going to use scouts, and you're going to make like 20 scouts in a province, and you're going to patrol it. But you're not, I mean, it's really hard to make, like, justify making 20 scouts, or it's going to take you a long time to get them. And actually, these guys are going to have lower upkeep per turn, 18 per year, than even a scout, which is 20 per year, though it's about the same. But you're going to be getting them anyway. So once I make enough priests that I can no longer efficiently transport all the undead they are making per turn around the map, I will take a large swath of them and turn them into blood hunters to bootstrap into blood. So anyway, yeah, just thought I'd tell you that. We can see Man and Satis have been fighting. I'm sorry, I don't really have scouts, so I'm going to be sending one up there, so hopefully we can see a couple of those battles. These scouts are going to both be going. And basically, I'm going to go ping this right here with this Mound Fiend, and I'm just going to make him think I'm going to attack, and I also want to see what's in there. Yeah, but I'm not really ready yet. What I'm going to be doing is I've got a lot of Mound Kings I've been making in my fort. You can see these guys are all set to revive Mound Kings, basically non-stop. This guy's going to be making some shades Shades have an armor negating attack, so they're really good against Shard Guard, though they get chopped up by their magic blades pretty easily. But I'm thinking a large swath of undead plus some shades should be able to make pretty efficient work of these Shard Guard. And then if I ping him here this turn, he's likely not going to expand. He will likely try to kind of turtle up here and put a big force to deal with what all I send at him. And I will send something at him. I'm not quite ready to do it yet. So, yeah, we're basically going to... my undead engine is started, but I don't have that many troops yet. So I'm going to be sending my Mountain Kings to different places where I'm making undead, like here and here especially. And, yeah, we're going to, hopefully very shortly, I'm sending one here also. We're very shortly hopefully going to be able to launch an undead attack into the lake. And I think that's it. So we're going to go ahead and open up turn 19, or turn 20 if you will. Okay, we have a battle in the Triton Sea. This is me pinging him, so hopefully we'll get to see what his bless is as well. Okay, nope, he's moved. So it's just about 6 PD. Okay, we end up getting increased resources, which is not really that useful. And then we had tax collection go well. It's like, holy shit, I've started having a couple good events. Oh, I cast Summon Shades here as well. So you can see I've got these shades. These are... a lot of people don't really use them. They're a pretty decent level 2 summon, so you can get them really early, and if you're dealing with very high protection units, they're a pretty damn good counter. They get Steel Strength, which is a armor negating attack, and if you hit them it also gives them weakness, which is kind of fine. But basically this is a way to chew through very, very tanky units, which is kind of what Agartha has. So I'm hoping these guys kind of end up getting intermixed and sprinkle into the front line and don't die immediately. And basically, yeah, we're going to be sending everything in we have. We pinged him to see what was in there, and we've got everything. And so we're sending in the Motherlode, which is basically, I sent Mount Kings all to all these provinces last turn, and they're all going to be moving in here to attack. Now, what I've got is this guy on attack rear, I've got this guy on attack rear, this guy on attack... Basically, a lot of these guys are on attack rear. These shades are not on the front line. I want them to trickle in. These guys are also in a skirmish formation. That way they'll take a little less damage from banishment. And it's also going to allow these shades to kind of filter into the front line, which is something I want them to do. I don't have any mage support. It's just these guys at the back. And hopefully, if my army routes, they will all escape without any of them dying. But that's basically the big move for this turn, is we're going to be taking this. Yeah. And I can't remember, I think Agartha and I have been talking in Steam, and we've basically said that he doesn't think I can take the lake. And I think I can. And so we basically said we're going to have a limited war only to the lake. We're going to keep our nap on our other fronts. But basically we're just going to do a show of military power to see who actually could keep the lake. And then based on that we'll probably resume a full nap with whatever the boundaries we come up with. So this is going to be my display of military force. We'll see if it works. You can see he's got kind of a lot of guys here. If it's 40 Shard Guard, that would maybe kill all these guys, but we'll see. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything particularly else. Oh, shit. Look at this. So, the first one of these guys I recruit, I get an Earth random. They're Water, Nature one, and then they have a 25% chance of getting Water, Earth, Death, or Nature. This is my only access to Earth. So, getting this one is super awesome. I'm going to send her out site searching, and she's not going to stop. This is going to be... I mean, this is super important that I got this one. Otherwise, I have very, very crappy Earth access. I will have it on my Pretender, but yeah. Pretty important, pretty huge that I got this so early. It's going to really help get my Earth income up. And I think that's about it. Yeah. You can see this one we switched to recruiting thaumaturgs, as I had said. We're building a palisade here. It's almost up. This palisade is finished. We're going to be upgrading it to a fortress. I have a temple here, so we are also creating cultists. More cultists here, more cultists here, more cultists here. This is getting upgraded to a fortress. This one I'm also turning into a lab. And next turn it will switch over to thaumaturgs. This one we have cultists spamming out. Yeah. Basically, I'm also taking this scout too, pulling it back. We're going to start building a fortress here, and then not too long after here. This one is almost done. I think oh no, I just started this one this turn. Going ahead and building a palisade here, and then we're preaching to get our dominion a little farther out here. But yeah, that's basically it. I am going to try some assassins here, just see kind of how it goes. I don't think it's going to be super successful. If it's just 1v1 an Astromage versus an assassin, there's a good chance I kill them. But if they have bodyguards, I'm basically hosed. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out that turn. It is turn 21, and let's see how it goes. Triton C. Okay, so let's take a look at what he's got. He's got 2 of these oracles. They're Holy 3, this one's Earth 4. He's got a bunch of gems on it too. I don't know what he's going to cast. I don't think you can do Earthquake underwater, but he could do Earth Elementals. Let's see what he's going to do. There goes Earth Power and Divine Blessing. Okay, he's doing lesser Earth Elementals, which are okay against skeletons, but they're not super high value. Now, you can see this is unfortunate. These guys have run to the front. Now, fortunately, they're not going to hit these guys who have magic weapons. They're just going to stall out in front of them, but basically, I think they're way faster, combat speed 12, versus these guys, which are combat speed 5. But this was not the intended use. I want these guys to be, like, surrounded by the skeletons. So, I probably should have put these guys on hold and attack, or put them farther back, so they trickle through more slowly. These guys are kind of doing what's right, but they're still a little too far forward. Like, they're gonna get just murdered. Like, watch when these guys attack, they're probably just gonna kill him. Yeah, he just kind of wrecked one of my guys. So not great use of the shades. They kind of got too far forward. If the shades weren't so far forward, it probably would have gone a lot better. This shade is in combat with these guys, which is kind of nice. It's going to hopefully keep him from casting Banishment. But he did rout. Okay, and we got one of the oracles. Okay, in this case we lost. I think we actually won this fight. Yeah, we actually won this. So this just goes to show how close it was. And this is one of the replay discrepancies, so you can't really see what happened. But if I recall from really watching it, almost all my guys died, and I think I killed their oracles. So I did a lot of damage to these guys, and then they routed, and I surrounded them, and then picked off most of the remaining ones. But, yeah. So anyway, you see that fight could have gone either way. Anyway, it went better in the real game than in this replay, so if you were watching Agartha, just know this could have played out pretty differently. But you can see he's got a ton of troops here on the border to reinforce. And while I did win that, I did not win it super handily, and I do not have reinforcements to take it again, though I will very quickly. And so he sends me a message saying, "May your blade chip and shatter." And I'm probably going to reply, "Huzzah!" That's a lot of dudes on the shore. You can take it back from me, but can you keep it? XD. Also, that's a long-ass rainbow bless. Oh, let's take a look at his blessing. We didn't really check it out. Okay, so he has attack +2, precision 3, shock resistance 5, poison resistance 5, defense skill 2, reinvigoration 1, magic resistance 2, undying 6, HP +2, blood surge, and reconstruction. Yeah. Kinda ridiculous. I can't say it's bad, because he probably has it on an imprisoned chassis, and probably has a rainbow pretender, which can do all sorts of cool stuff for him. But I don't really see how this is super great on his like statues, which he'll get later. The resistances are really good. I probably would have done more resistances. MR, not super important on statues. Reinvigoration, not super important, which is one of the reasons you take Blood Surge also. Yeah, I think the resistances were a good pickup. Defense is okay. Attack is okay. I don't know. It's okay. I don't think it's a great bless, but it's not bad. What are his scales anyway? So he took Turmoil, Production, Growth, Luck. Those are really good scales. So he probably got this bless pretty much on the cheap, and it's pretty good for having a lot of positive scales. Yeah, so basically we're going to be pulling a bunch of guys out. I think I'm leaving a contingent of dudes in, and I'm pulling a bunch of these guys out. I probably should have... I bumped the PD up really high. I bumped it up to 40, but this is really shitty PD. Not sure if this was a good call, trying to defend it, because this is a lot of dudes, but maybe he doesn't want to. Or I don't know. We'll see. Could probably go either way. We're going to need a lot more undead. Where do we find a scout here? Yeah. And you can see Man is... So Man has forted up this border here with Satis. And seems to be... I mean, I don't know where Satis' capital is. Okay, here it is. Seems to be kind of wrecking Satis. Because basically Satis has this and this and this. And Man has all that. Looks like Man is walloping him. I haven't seen any battles yet, unfortunately, but hopefully we do. And you can see from our infrastructure messages, we have a ton of stuff coming up. And I think that's it for this turn. We'll probably try to get one more in. What was that, turn 21? I think we're on turn 22. Well played, that's a lot of skeletons. I knew I should have protected my commanders better. But I thought personal guards would interfere with elementals, which weren't very effective anyway. I'll give it one more shot in a bit. So he didn't attack me, which is kind of nice. A message from Abyssia. I 100% agree with you that Marignon and Yis are big and dangerous at this stage in the game. Yis is mostly dangerous because being a water-based nation and his strong glamour troops, which it's really hard to wage war against. For Marignon, I count many throne provinces that he already occupies or will occupy soon. That means he's pretty near to victory. I'm absolutely up for working together against either of these two. Even though I would prefer to have some more time to prepare, let's speak again in a few turns. Abyssia isn't in that much of a hurry right now, even though we are rather mid-sized only. We got a pretty strong position and economy going. Obviously, it's pretty sad that Marignon and Yis didn't encounter stronger resistance there versus Pangaea, so they grew pretty big without taking losses. So this is Abyssia's summary of Marignon's thrones. He has 2 throne points, 9 are needed for victory. He already owns or is about to conquer 3 to 4 more throne provinces very soon. 1 could be a level 2 throne, so it's 7 throne points, so he would need to find a few more to actually win. And you can see we're making a lot of kings. There's a worldwide event. Luck has increased worldwide. Not bad. Our scout has been discovered, which is unfortunate because I'm trying to show you guys some freaking battles here. But I can't, because my scouts keep dying. And you can see a bunch of logistics craziness. Basically, we're going to be moving out of this province and taking this. I'm not sure if he's going to attack me. If he attacks me this turn, I'm going to lose all this PD, which would be pretty annoying. And actually... Okay, yeah. So I have talked to Agartha offline, and we actually came to an agreement. Okay, so the agreement is 96 is his, the other 2 lake provinces are to be mine. And let's consider the first war target also. So I had wanted to keep the whole lake, but basically there's a basalt statue here with 2 earth gems, and he really, really wants that. And while I think, given enough time, I would be able to keep the whole lake from him, it would cost me a lot, and basically it's going to delay the next war I get into, which at this moment it looks like we really need to get on top of the developing Yis situation, because Yis also has a bunch of this, and then some of this, and then the word is Yis also may have some of the lake. So Yis is really big. Marignan is probably even bigger. Marignan's probably the biggest threat at the moment, as Abyssia pointed out, very close to throne victory. Has this, and this, and this, and this, and is very close to this, and may also have this, I can't remember. So a lot of thrones all in the Marinese Empire. So because of that, we basically said, let's not fight too much. I'm going to give up this province, and I'm going to get these 2, which do secure me some important objectives. Is going to allow me all the raiding I want into Abyssia, which is not something I told Agartha, but it's why I want it. And it will also provide me a nice bit more income. This is actually a really high income province, whereas this is a shitty income. So I would probably actually rather have the high income rather than the earth. Though, of course, it would be better to have both. But anyway. And anyway, all these crazy logistics, let's look at it real quick. Basically, we're going to be moving Mound Kings around to pick up troops and try to concentrate them. And I'm going to be preparing for war, I think, against Yis. Now, the reason is Yis's army is out here trying to conquer down Pangea's cap. Marignan's taken a bunch of this. And... Do I send a message to Marignan? No. Okay, let's read this message real quick. I sent a message to Abyssia. Perhaps you, Agartha, and I form an alliance to topple the larger powers. The thing about Yis is their troops have that Firebrand attack where it does like an AoE 1 fire damage, which is really good. But it only works on land. In the water, they don't have that. So I actually will fight them slightly better probably in the water than on land, without accounting for my mages. So I want to get underwater. The other thing too is, if you look at who are the aquatic nations, there's Yis, myself, and Agartha. Nobody else can really go underwater, and Agartha is not very close to this main lake. So if I can take Yis out, then I will have this whole lake system basically uncontested, which will allow me to raid everybody. It's going to make nobody want to be at war with me, because I can attack them and they can't attack me, so it will make them want to be at peace with me. Nobody wants to piss off the Water Nation. Yeah, that's basically why I want to take Yis out. Not to mention they're also really big and the player's pretty good. But mostly just because I want the water. And I think that's about it. Where do I have... Okay, so this is a mage center. I'm making mages here. I'm making mages here. Everything else is just cranking out more cultists than I know what to do with. And I think that is about it for this turn in this episode. There's a lot of things going on. Basically, you can see most of this movement, I'm just trying to get a Mound King full worth of stuff and move it around. And then, of course, I'm attacking this province here, which will give me a nice little income boost. Kind of wishing I didn't waste like 1,000 gold or whatever this is on province defense, but whatever. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.